The following broadcast may contain explicit language and adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. The opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the hosts, talent, and guests, and do not reflect the opinions, views, and standards of Pyromedia Enterprises, affiliates, subsidiaries, or its members.
You said something so key, and that's self-image. You know, I believe that that's more important than anything throughout the entire process. If you can't see yourself in a different image than what you are, right, then you can't become anything else but what's in your mind, right? So some people's self-image is the big person. So even when they start to slim down, they get back to their self-image. So you have to modify your self-image and visualize it first, right? And so once you start to do that type of work, it's like, you know, if you broke, you have to create a better self-image of somebody who has money, somebody who is in these luxury environments, somebody who can afford things, right? Because otherwise, when you get money, it's going to, your habits are of a poor man, so it's going to eat that money up and you're going to lose it. So it's the same thing if you have a big girl self-image, right, and big girl habits, you might lose the weight for a little second, but them big girl habits go eat that plate up, and now you right back into your image because that's what you.
Welcome. Hey, everyone. That right there was 19 Keys. That's the young man I met. This young man I met when I lived out in L.A. Very, very on point brother, young brother. And when I met him, shout out to my girl, Shantae Alexander. She threw a vision board party in 2018. And he was one of the speakers. And when I met him, I said, dude, you gonna blow. Because he was just so full of knowledge and everything. And so now here we are in 2023, and he is now a world-renowned speaker. But this is why this show is happening. Well, it's a part of the reason why this show is happening. That sparked something in me. And also a conversation I had, I think it was with Ramona and LaShonda. But anyway, here we are. Welcome, everyone. Thursday night, Kandid Konversations. Let's have a talk. My guest this evening will be a little late because she's getting off work. But as you all know, the show must go on. So first thing we're going to discuss is self-awareness. Now, the difference between self-awareness and self-image. Self-awareness is the ability to take an honest look at your life without attachment to it being right or wrong. Self-awareness calls us to become intimate with our emotions rather than running from them. To pursue and be with them, it calls us to become aware of our strengths and weaknesses. It also calls us to reflect on our words and actions, to be curious about our triggers, to understand our history and its impact on who we are as adults. As we know ourselves, a natural sense of self-worth arises. We know deeply you are enough. Once you start working on yourself, you'll know that you are enough. And I did this show because, excuse me, I had problems with self-esteem, self-image, and self-awareness. So the image came, and I was always trying to lose weight. It didn't hit me to lose weight though until I was at the doctor's office. I live in Chicago, and I stepped on the scale, and the scale said 492 pounds. And so I was in such a disarray, I asked the nurse, I said, can you get your foot off the scale? And she said, Mr. Jones, that's all you. She said, I am not nowhere, my foot is nowhere near the scale, it's all you. And it was like something just came over and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, I was just so flabbergasted because when you become, how can I say this? When you have low self-esteem, especially if you overweight, you have a tendency to not look in mirrors, to not want to look in the mirrors, even though you're at home, you're eating. And like, I couldn't be surprised because I had fell into a depression. And I would come home, I used to work the night shift. I think I told this before, but I used to work the night shift. I work, the second shift. I would get off at 9 o'clock. And I would come home and I would cook. One of my favorite things to cook would be cabbage, because cabbage is quick to cook, a macaroni and cheese, and chicken. And have a 2-liter of ginger ale. That's it. So I couldn't be surprised when she said 492. And I, like I said, me being in denial, can you get your foot off the scale? Yeah, but I knew it was, deep down it was me. So that was kind of a wake-up call. Because I started trying to lose weight then. But as he said, the picture, when you see how you see yourself is how it will be. So if you don't, if you can't see the smaller version of you, the healthier version of you, you'll pick back up those habits. And then that started happening again. Then fast forward to now. I fell into I didn't say nothing to nobody. I fell into a depression beginning part of this year. And I felt myself going back. And it had been a while since I've been depressed. And every night, and I was sitting here laughing, talking with y'all on Pyro Power Hour. Kwame asked, hey, how you doing, bro? And me, I'm a chameleon. I'm fine. I'm good. And someday I think Kwame knew I would be on bullshit because he would say, you sure? You okay? You good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And I would sit there, but I would be at night, and I bought this Sam's Club. They had a big thing of I meant to bring it down here. But anyway, I used to have a big thing of M&M, this big jar. And I would buy them like that. And I would just every night have like a handful or whatever. And so I felt myself creeping back into that, getting back into eating. But I was snacking. Instead of fixing meals, I was eating snacks. I was eating M&Ms, and I was eating potato chips. And I just kept eating. And that's how I knew I was back. I was like, what is going on with me? And I started re-examining some things. And I was like, you know what? I need to get back into, which we're going to get into tonight, things to do. I stopped doing some things. And then I just fell. So now I'm back on the health journey. Well, I started back a couple months ago. I started doing what my therapist told me to do, which we'll get into some things into that. So, because there's 2 types of self-awareness. So I'm going to go here first. There's a public self-awareness, which can pressure you to conform to societal standards, breeding anxiety and low self-esteem, especially if you are already struggling with an anxiety disorder. So public self-awareness, what it says, it pressures you. How, sometimes some people will compare themselves to other people's lives. You see somebody on social media and you see like, damn. Or like I said, and I stay with overweight because that's always been my thing. You'll see somebody overweight, you'll see them losing the weight. Like, damn, how they losing weight? I can't lose weight. Well, you can lose weight. You get up off your ass, stop your bad habits, and pick up good habits. You can do it. But compare yourselves to people, and it can bring on anxiety. It can bring on depression. Now, another one is private self-awareness, which usually occurs behind closed doors. It comes up when we are alone and are noticing something new about ourselves. This can also blend in with emotional self-awareness, which refers to an understanding of our true emotions. Now, self-awareness requires us to dive inward and reflect, which sometimes a lot of people don't like to do because a lot of people don't like the person that they are. You have people proclaim, yeah, I love me, but you don't like you. And you can't be alone with you. That's why so many people get into relationship after relationship after relationship. Like I had a friend of mine tell me after when me and my ex broke up, oh, you just need to give somebody else. And I said, this is no shade. I said, but I'm not you. I can't just be with anybody. I can't just go from person to person trying to mask, what it is. Yeah, I can't do that. Just not me. But yeah, so reflect on that. So reflect on yourself, go through your life, reflect on what's really going on with you. Now, we're still on self-awareness. Now, there's 6 ways to improve self-awareness. So for anyone that's, wanting to go through self-awareness and do the work, now this one, I'm kind of iffy on, but ask for feedback. I'm iffy on this because it says, then you can identify and modify any incorrect views that you have established about yourself. And I say I'm on the fence about that because now I do have some friends who I could ask and they'll be straight up honest with me. But I also know some people who I could ask, and I know it's going to be something hateful. And when I mean hateful, like something, they'll say something, and because you know how people are with you. Some people are just jealous of you, so they're not going to be 100 with you. They're going to tell you how they feel, but it's not 100 what you need to improve, or what you need to improve on your life to make you better. So ask for feedback. Be careful who you ask feedback of. Now, I can name people who I would ask, and it's a really short list. But I would ask if I went to somebody and said, hey, what do you know about me? Like my friend LaShawn, who y'all saw on the show, LaShawn, I could ask her. Sometimes now this just ain't no shade. Cause I love my sister. I ain't gotta ask. She'll just tell me. But yeah, sometimes you need a friend like that. I'm like, look, I see you doing this, see you doing that. You can do do a little introspection of yourself. But yeah, be careful who you ask. Another thing, recognize your strengths and your weaknesses. Now, this allows you to sustain your strengths while working on your weaknesses. Acknowledge your strengths. You know that you're good at something. So deep down what you are good at. Acknowledge that. Bring that out while working on your weaknesses. Now, here's the thing. Here's a mistake that I made. Do not beat yourself up over your weaknesses. We all have weaknesses. We do. But work on them. And while you're working on them, do not beat yourself up over them. Do not do that. That just pushes you further in the hole. We're going to get to that self-talk. We're going to get to that in a minute. But that just pushes you further in the hole. Also, do some self-reflecting, as I stated earlier. This unlocks thoughts and emotions that might otherwise be disregarded. So self-reflect on yourself. Like, say, okay, I always use myself as an example. I've I've cut way back on telling people off. Hey, Jules, I cut telling people off like on social media. I'm like, I'm not going to give you this energy. And I've had people in the past tell me. I've had T.S. Madison herself tell me. Thais told me. I know y'all like Thais got a lot of goddamn nerve, but yeah, Thais told me. Coco has told me, and a few other friends like, hey, you can't. Especially my BFF Eddie. Hey, you cannot go back and forth with people like this. You got to do you. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, do that. Reflect and like, hey, you know what? I can handle this better, or I can do it better. Because one time I got into with somebody on social media, my ex saw the exchange, and he said, "Now, did you have to say all that?" And first thing I did, I got to defense, and I said, "Wait a minute, did you see what was said to me?" He said, and so he said, "I saw everything." He said, and I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. I'm just saying, did you have to say everything that you said? And when I look back on, I'm like, you know what? I could have handled it differently. I could have. I didn't have to go that hard. And that's one of the things I'm working on me, because I'm the type where I can't just, as some people, mildly cuss you out. When I cuss somebody out, I just go full throttle, which is why I never curse out anyone who I respect, who I love. Loved ones, be it family member, but family members that I respect. My friends who are like family, and anyone that I'm in love with. Even though my mouth is like, yeah, but I don't do it to people that I love. I don't hope it don't even come to me to say anything terrible to them. But yeah, so let's work on that. Monitor your self-talk. Make sure that your self-talk is positive and that you celebrate your wins, and do not absolutely do not dwell on your failures. And I'm saying absolutely do not, because that was one of the things my therapist had to get with me about. Because we would talk about my wins and failures. I mean, sometimes that's the best kind of. See, cupcakes. See, we can't be together. Oh God, my light just went out. Okay. Yeah, cause we can't be together. See, I'm trying to work on me, but yeah, but you all right now. You all right. Some people only get it when you go. Yeah, but like I said, monitor your self-talk. Don't, like I said, don't dwell on your weaknesses. Don't dwell on your failures. Do not beat yourself up. Hey, Ramona, you're because I had a terrible habit of that. And one time I was I had said something about myself, and the person said, "Don't you ever, ever, ever again let me hear you say anything like that about you. Because if you do, we're gonna fight. Because you just cannot say that about yourself. You shouldn't say that about yourself. You shouldn't think about yourself like that." But yeah, I was really like, I could be my own worst critic at one time. Now, like I said, therapy. That's why I'm an advocate for therapy. It works. I can not overlook, but I can just get past the things. Be like, you know what? Okay, this happened. It's not a loss. It's a lesson learned. So that's how I take things. It's a lesson learned. If something happens between me and someone else, hey, it's a lesson learned. You have to go out. But monitor, and I stay on that. Monitor your self-talk, because how you talk to yourself is how you will come out into the world. And people can pick up on vibrations and energy. You know, how you treat yourself, how you feel about yourself, it comes through loud and clear. Also, this is now my sister Ramona is good for this. Practice saying no. No, as she said, no is a complete sentence. Set a goal number of temptations you will resist each day. And I thought that was interesting, said like, okay, because we all attempt it every day. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna, I may give in twice today. Something like that, Now, saying no may not give you immediate gratification, but it'll give you a long-term gain. So in the out, like you said no today, okay, I said no, yeah. But in the end, you'll see down the road, that was the best thing for me to, say no. If you don't want to do something, sometimes like people actually do something, hey, can you go here with me? Even though you're a man, I really don't feel like going. Yeah, okay, let's go. No, can't go. And of course, people being people. Well, why can't you go? You're not doing anything. Absolutely. I'm not doing anything. I don't want to do anything. I just don't feel like it. No. But like Ramon say, no is a complete sentence. Really, you really don't have to explain yourself. But sometimes, I'm a Libra, so we like to be nice and we like to be, peaceful. So no, I just don't want to. And one thing is question your decisions. Question your decisions. Ensure that any decision you make are good ones by coming up with 3 reasons as to why you should pursue them. I'm going to repeat that. Ensure that any decisions you make are good ones by coming up with 3 reasons as to why you should pursue them. This will allow you to better understand your motives and be confident that you have chosen the best available option. Really, I love this. Allow you to better understand your motives. Why did I choose this? Why am I doing this? Why am I going here? Why am I, whatever it is? Why? What is my motive behind this? What am I, if anything, what am I trying to gain? What is my true motivation? Ask yourself that with any decision. If you decide, like I said, going back to saying no. If someone asks you to go somewhere or to do something for them, hey, can you do this? Yeah. Why am I saying yes? Start examining it. Yeah. I had to teach my damaged self how to love myself. That's a word. Oh, that's a word. I don't like when people I love talk down themselves. Okay, I said I don't do it no more. A good cussing plus no equals instant gratification. Sure. Now, That's the thing. Say no. If you know somebody is egging you on, no. And well, back to what Cupcakes, my girl Cupcake said. People used to purposely say stuff to see what I would say. And because some people find it entertaining the way I cuss people out, which is not entertaining. And I don't even, and here's the God's honest truth. This is me being transparent. The God's honest truth is, I really do not even like that side of me. I don't. It's just, when you tip my scale so far to the left, it happens. But the truth of the matter, I really don't like being that person. I really like being a nice, peaceful person. And that's who the real Kire is, or the real Eric, whichever one you know. I wanted to drive the point. Yeah, but that's the real me is the nice me, the nice guy. I am the nice guy. That's probably what I'm saying, because people don't like nice guys, but that's another candid conversation. Now, as you learn more about yourself, you'll start to hear a sort of an inner voice. Now, you can say that's spirit, some people say that's the Holy Spirit or whatever, but you'll hear an inner voice, but that's you. Our level of self-awareness is a reflection of the time we spend with ourselves and what we take away. I'm going to say it again. As you learn more about yourself, you'll start to hear a sort of an inner voice, and our level of self-awareness, it's a reflection of the time we spend with ourselves and what we take away. So when you're doing self-awareness, one of the things that I learned to do was to meditate as well as pray. You know, meditation, in case anyone is watching, don't know, praying is when I'm praying and I'm communicating with spirit. And that's me talking to spirit. Meditation is me sitting alone, for me, quiet. Well, I have meditation music, quiet, and I'm listening to spirit. That's the difference. Because some people, because I've heard people at one point in time, hell, I didn't know the difference. What is meditation? What is that? I hear people saying, what's meditation? And this is me because I'm a man of a particular age. Being in church back then, they take meditation. The devil. That's the devil. What voice is coming to you? But anyway, now 5 ways. Here are 5 different ways to become more self-aware. You can go on nature walks, spend time with nature, get outside. And it helps to reduce your feelings of anxiety, depression, stress, and other mental health issues. But now me adding to this one, to nature walks, also what you can do is start grounding. Grounding is when you take your shoes and your socks off and plant your feet in grass or dirt, whichever one. And you're getting in tune with the earth. And that's really actually a good place to meditate and to pray. When you're touching the earth, your bare feet, not with your shoes on. Because some people say, I'm earthing, which it's called earthing or it's called grounding. Hey, Tiffany. Oh, ooh, you cooking. I wish I was there. If you don't know Dr. Holt, if they don't know Dr. Holt, they really don't know you. Okay, my cousin stopped doing super stuff with me the day after my grandmother died. And I told my cousin to bring her. See, that's what I'm saying. We got now. I can understand that because I do have blood family members that I don't associate with, and it's always. See, you said your grandmother's death. It's always something about death that just brings out the worst in people, especially family members. It is. Now, like I said, I understand. You're trying to get in tune with yourself, trying to better yourself, but sometimes you will get pushed. Sometimes people deserve it. Now, like I said, I do have family members who I have told to them, and I said, cousin in particular, and an aunt and an uncle, and yeah, my cousin, his wife, aunt and uncle. And I told them all, listen, I have had your funeral, your burial, and the repast all in my mind. You are dead to me. We will never again communicate ever again in life. I don't give a fuck what's happening. Those are the type of people where if I seen them and they were on fire and there was no water available, I wouldn't piss on them to put out the flames. That's just how I feel. But I'm still working on me. Anyway, like this is going back to earthing and grounding. Grounding and earthing. You have to do it barefoot because you have to, and that's why I call it earthing, because you're getting in tune with nature, putting your feet to the soil, putting your feet in that grass and getting with spirit. Now it is, we're at the end with Merc. So we're going to cut to a commercial break, then we'll come back and talk about self-image. 21.
This episode is sponsored in part by Bullet and Flight Radio. Get ready to uplift your spirit with Bullet and Flight Radio, the world's leading progressive Christian radio station. Experience the vibrant fusion of gospel house music and a rich medley of inspiration from all musical genres that'll make your heart soar. Join their extraordinary lineup of today's trailblazers, visionaries, and voices that matter, all sharing their stories and wisdom. Stay plugged in around the clock as they broadcast unmissable content 24/7. Your go-to station for all things inspiring. Become a pilot today by visiting bulletandflightradio.com. Bullet and Flight Radio. Your story, our station.
I'm cracking up at Dr. Hope. He said, you know what it was? A girl in college that would lay in the grass on campus. We was like, girl, now this young lady is getting in tune with herself, and you all are just, hey, grandma, this girl getting in tune with herself, and y'all harassing her. She knew what was up. She knew earthing. See, I'm late to the party. My therapist put me up on it. So what I do is I go out in my front yard and I try to make sure ain't nothing out there. You know, over here we got deers and chipmunks and possum and shit. So make sure ain't nothing in the yard. And these damn moles that gets the moles get on my. I really want to take something and get rid of them. But anyway, I go in my front yard and I ground and I get some vitamin D while I'm out there, because vitamin D is for we as Moorish people have to get vitamin D. It's very important for us. And I said Moorish. I'll explain it later, but I no longer call us black people because that's not what we are. That's what the government named us. I've been doing some research. I know I'm pro-black as hell. We was trying to make sure she was all right. Make sure she was about not to snap or something. She ain't gonna snap. No, she's earthing, so she's good. She's good. She's getting in tune with spirit. She fine. She probably sitting out there getting in tune to deal with y'all. Because at HBCU, I wish I knew about it then. Because I had a roommate, boy, that made me just my freshman year. That's the only bad roommate I had in school, my freshman year. I want to put him to the earth. Anyway, now let's get into self-image. Now, self-image it's the idea one has of one's abilities, appearance, and personality. So now the personal views or mental picture that we have of ourselves, you saw in the video, and what he was talking about, Nancy Keys talking about. The personal view or mental picture that we have of ourselves. Questions we should ask when it comes to self-image. I'll get to that in a minute. Now, the personal view or mental picture that you have yourself. So you can even take this. You can take this. I'll take it on a Christian level, because Karen Clark Shear had the song. You got to see it before it happens. You got to see it and believe it before it happens. Absolutely. That's just, that's just law. You have to see it. But let us see, in her song, Take Time, you got to write it, see it. You got to see it, write it, speak it, believe it, and do it. I hope I got them in the right order, but I know, believe it. I know, believe it, see it is the first one. But anyway, you have to do all that, and then before you can be whatever it is you want to be. If you want to be a multimillionaire, you have to see it. Can you see yourself with this? If you want to be married, can you see yourself married? If you want to be whatever you want, if you want to lose weight, can you see yourself as a smaller, more healthier version? Do you want to see do you see yourself debt free? Do you see yourself in that new house? Do you see yourself traveling? Whatever it is you see, put it out there. And I also want to say, while I'm on this part, the self-image, start writing it down. Have a journal. Like I have a journal and I have a manifestation journal. Oh, much better. Yeah, I would suggest that to anyone. Get a manifestation journal or a regular journal and just start writing it. Journaling really helps you. And write about yourself. Write how you really feel. Get it out. How you feel. How you see yourself. It'll help you. Now, question to ask when it comes to self-image. What do you like about yourself? That used to be the hardest question for me. My therapist, my latest therapist, had asked me, and I was like, no, not my latest. Dr. Ken. Dr. Ken asked me that one time. This is why I live in LA. And I was like, like I had to think. And like I said, my self-esteem used to be low. So now, here's the thing. Make what I just told y'all, make a handwritten list. Do not limit yourself. Make it a daily or weekly habit. That's one thing I stopped doing. And it can boost your self-image and your self-esteem, which it really can. My therapist, if you all have heard of her name is Megan McGlover. Her sessions are, baby, Kire, check project. Her sessions are awesome. Okay. All right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for this woman. I love her. Oh my God, I love her. Give it up for the incomparable, the beautiful, the one who always puts everything into perspective, Miss Valerie Spencer. Why are we not going to Valerie Spencer? Y'all, it's always, oh my God, Barry, where you go, Mama? Where you go? Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Okay, y'all know, y'all know what it is. We all family here. Oh, okay. Oh, where you go? Okay. Barry coming in. But okay, well, oh Lord, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Valerie Spencer. Hey, are you and Mama in the car?
I'm stuck in a bit of traffic, but I'm with you anyway. I
understand.
I hope you can hear me okay.
Yes.
You good? I'll be home shortly where I can really stretch out, but I'm stuck in a bit of traffic. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Give it up about. Now, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, good. Okay, so right now we're talking about self-image. So I was saying the self-image is the idea one has of one's abilities, appearance, and personality. The personal view or mental picture that you have of yourself. Now, how important is it to have a positive view of yourself?
Well, I think it's really positive to have a healthy image of yourself, being mindful that those images that you have of yourself, I don't want to be unfair to Kire. Okay. Those images that you have of yourself are really developed on images that you witness in other people. That's why it's important that we have positive and affirming role models because early on, because and all throughout our life, because we're watching and observing and we're trellising the people's behavior that we see onto ourselves. For an example, years and years and years and years ago, I wanted to be a certain kind of woman in the world, but I didn't have, other than my beautiful mother, of course, I didn't have those kind of examples in my neighborhood. So I pulled from the world of culture. I pulled from politics, Carol Moseley Braun, Susan Taylor of Essence Magazine, Elaine Jones of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, Cicely Tyson, Oprah, my mother, and of course, my goddess, the legendary, iconic Diane Carroll. So I sort of pulled from those people and built myself, right? And built myself. And I don't think anyone should apologize for that, because you will still be your own uniqueness of that. So positive self-image, now be mindful, positive self-image or self-image period is not the same as identity. This is no, not the same. Not the same.
Break that down.
I'll break it down. You know, I'm on Kire show. I'm giving you all I got. Stuck in traffic. So identity is who you are. It's who you are. And you are able to language that to people. For an example, I'm a beautiful well, I'd like to think I was beautiful. Maybe not so much right now, but I'm a Black woman. But the kind of Black woman that I am is I'm a trans woman. And those are and now I'm also a daughter. I'm also a minister. I'm also a very, overworked therapist. I just got off work. I hold several identities. Now, within each of those identities, you want to have a good self-esteem, a self-image of yourself. I'd like to see myself as a good therapist, although I'm kind of mediocre.
Ciao.
I don't give myself high praise in that regard. I am a very good caregiver. I have a healthy, thriving sense of image of myself as a caregiver, right? And as a daughter, and as a minister, and as a woman in the world. So within each of those identities that we hold, we also have to have a healthy self-image within each of those identities. Is that clear? Does that help? You feel me?
Very, very clear.
Hi, everybody.
And I was now what we say to ourselves. Now, my therapist asked this question: would you say to yourself? Would you say that to your best friend? Like the words that you say to yourself, would you speak those words to your best friend?
Yeah, that's a great exercise to sort of mirror back to you the language that you use to yourself. And your therapist is right. A lot of times we are courteous and polite and very regarding of people's feelings because we were raised to be that way, right? Mm-hmm. And we are part of our own self-image. Certainly a part of my self-image is I see myself as a polite and courteous person in the world. However, I say some awful things to myself.
See, and that's what I'm just talking about. How we can't, we shouldn't do that. And so, and to fix that, my therapist had me to practice positive affirmations to move, to move from the negative and destructive words that we speak to ourselves. So start doing positive affirmations, which is what I was doing. And I had talked about how earlier this part of the year, I fell back into a depression because I had stopped doing my exercises, my positive affirmations, and my writing down what I like about myself. But I think that's
sometimes depression just comes because it feels like visiting. So we don't want to blame ourselves when depression symptomology shows up. Depression is like a cousin. She just likes going where she likes to go. And sometimes she show up and she say, girl, you got some banana pudding or something? You don't? Well, you're awful. You're horrible. How dare you write depression? So sometimes depression just shows up. Sometimes it's biological. There could be some chemicals, but you are not to blame and you are not to at fault. No one is. Please know that of ourselves, family.
You heard her. Now, and now, do you show yourself you are worthy? Do you show yourself that you are worthy?
I don't think I necessarily show myself that I am worthy. However, when my own worthiness comes to say hello, I try not to turn it away and say, no, I'm not worthy. I try to say, okay, well, all right. My boss said something to me yesterday. Well, I have a couple of bosses. I've got a couple of bosses and several supervisors, but one of them said to me, "You're doing a great job." And I immediately went to, "Really? Am I?" Right? And I thought, well, I'm kind of tinkering around. I'm learning a whole new system, but my tinkering around and needing help is a part of learning, right?
Right.
And so often what we do, one of my coworkers does this, quiet a bit. "You look nice today." "No, not right." Instead of saying thank you. We don't necessarily stop to acknowledge our own worth, but what we do a lot of is when somebody presents us with our worth, we reject it, or we justify it, or we justify it, or we diminish it. "Oh, girl, them shoes is cute. Girl, I got these at Walmart, girl." Right, girl, these are $2 shoes, girl. "Oh, Miss Woman, you look cute, girl. Girl, if I could just get that last little 20 pounds off of me, I'd be sickening." Or whatever we do, we diminish ourselves, and we've got to stop. We've got to stop.
Absolutely. And so, like, do you show yourself where, like, buy yourself something, take a class that you wanted to take the class you wanted to take, buy yourself something nice, treat yourself on a trip, once in a while, just to show yourself worth?
Well, I have different recommendations because I try to get people out of, and hear me, family, clearly. We are over perpetuating the acquisition of things. We need things. We want things. We got to have some more things. I got enough things. Well, then I need some things that are more expensive than the things I got. I need some things that other girls ain't got, because that's the thing. We have too much things, too much stuff. You are enough. You are absolutely enough. So I like experiences. I do like a trip. I love a good conference, right? I like a good facial. One of the things that I do for self-care, I don't have once a month feet. I got every week feet. That's the kind of feet I got. So for those of you who got once a month feet, God bless you. I have every 7 to 9 day feet, right? And so my habit has always been, since my 20s, even if I have to scrape up change, I must get a pedicure, right? I want my feet to look a certain way. Plus, I'm a tall woman. The first thing they go down to is them cankles and all that. I try to take care of my feet and my hands. And here's why. I don't have enough self-esteem. I'll be honest with you, family. I don't have enough self-esteem to value, love, and honor my whole self. I don't. But I do like my hands. I think I have beautiful hands. My hands have not gained weight. They're still pretty. And so that's what I can do. I can't value the 100%, but I got a good 15 that I can start with where you are, right? And so not just buy yourself something, do something for yourself. And if you can do something for yourself that is free, all the better. Whatever you do that pulls you in to a relationship with self and not a relationship with Gucci, Neiman's, with self, right? You are enough. Just think, you must be enough. You are the vehicle that the creator of all life itself chose to express itself in, as, and through. If you were deficient in some way, God would never illuminate you. God would never go into trash and just hang out for 50 years. No, God illuminated you because you are the center point of the universe, as Ernest Holmes would say.
Wow. Now, the next thing is for parents. For those
hallelujah. Thank you, God. Yes, I am enough. Everybody say that. I'm enough. I'm enough. Hallelujah. I don't need anything else. I am. Forget DeSantis. I will always be okay. I am enough. Yeah, I'm enough.
I am enough. I like that. I am enough.
And then if you want to, Kyrie, oh, baby, that is not a driving lane, sweetheart. I hate to tell you that. That's not, sis, that's not a, okay, all right. Okay, Mama was
Type
about to
that in the
hit
chat.
me.
I am enough. Type that in the chat. Believe it. I am enough. You are enough.
Or,
Type it. I am enough. I'll tell them to type it in the chat that I am enough. I love that. I am enough.
I'm breaking up a little bit.
Oh, Valley's breaking up. Getting into that LA traffic. But my next is
hold on, I'm breaking up a little bit.
Okay. But I want parents to know you can build good self-esteem and self-image in your children. Praise your children when they truly deserve it. Be a good role model and lead by example. Avoid negative criticisms towards your children and focus on their strengths. That's for parents, Val. That's for the parents.
Right. I was just in a conference. I don't work with children, but I'm learning about children. I've only had one child client. However, the first thing that children look for is validation and approval. Right. The first thing they look for is validation, approval, and reward. They can see it in your eyes. They can smell it, right? Approval has a bio scent to it. We now know approval, disapproval has a scent. They can smell it. They look for, now, does this mean you don't discipline your children? Absolutely not. Children must be disciplined because it's a form of love. And if you let them have too much freedom and don't discipline them, they will interpret that as mommy does not, or father does not, or person that, oh, okay, well, what now? Oh, okay, does not love me, right? So well, honey, we don't have a whole lot of black folk there. I'm like, well, what kind of, so approve of your children. Now, this is my request.
Okay.
If I may, I have a request of Black women.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to go talk to you Saturday at a wonderful event here in Los Angeles. But I have a request of Black women of every ilk, echelon, stripe. Don't throw your children out. In the name of the Most High God, don't throw your children out on the street. And please don't let some minister, if I turn this thing, can I see? I can. Please don't let some minister, there I am. Please don't let some minister use scriptural interpretation to convince you to put your children on the street. Please don't. I beg of you. I beg of you. I beg of you. On my knees, I beg of you. On my knees while kneeling on rice, I beg of you. Don't let somebody talk you into throwing your children on the street. It will, I don't want to say ruin, because that's an awful prophecy, but it will damage your children, sometimes irreparably. Then you find out that same minister is screwing everybody that told you. Don't let some scriptural interpretation convince you to throw your children on the street.
Please.
Here's my radical request, Kire. Here's my radical request.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the language that I'm going to use is not popular anymore, but love your faggot kids. Love your sissy child. Love your little baby bull dagger. Love your baby dyke. Love them, rear them, raise them to be responsible sissies. We need that. Don't throw your children on the street because they are queer. We need responsible queer people with raising and rearing in the world. Good God Almighty, I feel that strongly. I could cry. Stop throwing your children on the street, because then when they come see me, they are broken. Oh my God, they're broken. They're broken. They're broken. They're broken. Don't throw you. Love your sissy children. Now, mothers, I'm going to give you a little piece of extra because I'm on Kire's show and I love my Kire, right? Nobody's really told you to have the benefits of a gay son. They have not really unpacked the benefits of a gay son. That means you're going to always have the sickeningest caftan on the block. You're going to always have the best wig on the block. There's a blessing and a beauty to having a queer child. Look at me. I'm a trans woman. That old girl is taken care of well, and I'm by myself doing it.
Yes, Miss Lulu is. Yes, she is.
This is Meddy, and this is Cal. right here. I'm doing it by myself. Love your queer children. Please, I beg you, I beg you. And don't try to get them to be straight. They're not. They're not bisexual. They're not. They're gay. They're gay. They're gay. Love your children. Raise them to be responsible gay people in the world. We need responsible people who've been raised in healthy, loving, queer, affirming families. It's everything. It's everything. Black women, please, I beg you. With all that I'd give you money if I had it. Don't throw your children on the street. Don't put your children out. Please don't. Please. Please don't. Please don't put your children on the street. I feel that's so strong.
That's where, and I felt that because I have met, when I used to work for the transit company, I met so many children that were thrown out. Yeah.
And they are broken. They are broken. They are broken. Have you ever watched Drag Race? Yes. And listen to some of those children unpack all of that talent, and that talent had to chisel itself through layers and layers of just brokenness. Black mothers, Black fathers, you are the antidote. If we'd have had you, we might not have had HIV in our communities. If we'd have had healthy, Black, queer, affirming families. And of course, shut that whole system. I can't get in trouble like that.
Well, I know where you're going. Like I know where you're going.
I was going to say, don't. I don't. But I do think the Black church has a responsibility to clean up the refuse they have put in the streets regarding gay people. They have led many people. They've eroded self-esteem to the degree that people have had no care of themselves. They walked into HIV and said, here I am, because their self-esteem had been so. And if you are one of those people who live today with a poor self-image and a poor sense of self-esteem, you're not by yourself, and you're not a bad person, and you don't need anything. You just need, for my prayer for you is that God do for you what God did for me, which is to take the veil of my narrative and lift it. And you know, God didn't lift it off my head. God lifted that veil. Where's my camera on this? I have to do this. Okay. God lifted that veil just enough for me to peek and see possibility, greatness, and then I had to take it off myself. My prayer for you is God lifts the veil and shows you who you really are beyond your own narrative, just enough so that you feel motivated to take that veil off and begin to see and see it rightly. Ashe. Yes. Ooh, you got me on one, child. I'm tired from working stuff, child. You done got me on one, Kire, out here parked in front of my house.
Ooh, I felt that. Oh my God, I felt that. That was awesome because, like I said, I met so many children, and they are broken. I have had kids. I had young boys as young as 12 or 13 to cry. I'm in my uniform, and they crying on me because it's the dead of winter, and they mama done put them out their house. And you know, in wintertime in Chicago, especially on the north side, it is freezing. So I'm like, why are you out here in the middle of Boys Town? And they're doing whatever it took to do to survive. So you know what they're doing. They hooking and crooking. And I'm like, how can you not care about your child? How could you do that?
I don't care about my child because my child is going to hell. Well, we might want to audit that. We hope, we have put God in such a hostage state, holding all of these ethics and beliefs and saying it's God who said, girl, you homophobic, just own your stuff, girl, right? And if you are a parent that is gristling, reach out for support. There are Black parents that have queer children that have reached out for support, and they're talking to each other. They're talking to each other. There is support for you. However, I done took over with that piece. Let's get away from the parent piece and talk about your sense of self-worth and your sense of self-value. It has to be nurtured.
Yes.
You can't take your eyes off of it. It's like a rule. If you move away from stirring that thing will be black and not a beautiful brown, right? So you've got to be mindful. And what I've become very cautious, I don't let people say just anything to me. Particularly if it is about me. And I can't get argument. We were talking about this today in our clinical meeting. I don't get argumentative with people. I remove myself a lot.
I talked about that at the beginning of the show. Yes, yes.
Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Where'd she go? You'll figure it out. I'm at the house. You'll figure it out. If someone misgenders me, if someone calls me Miss Thing, girlfriend, or it, or gets too
jealous.
You know, I'm a baby. Hey, I'm a 50-year-old Black woman. Crisp up, sharpen up. Don't. And if somebody steps to me too loose or in a way that's not regarding, I don't get argumentative with them because that takes up too much emotional labor, and it sucks up too much of your power. I just ghost. Where'd she go? She in the car. I don't do those things. I don't. And likewise the cup, as it says, I be mindful of my mouth. I don't I don't read anymore. Ooh, and I can so well, but I don't read.
I just talk. Oh God, I just talk about that. I'm like, I pick and choose who I do it to, but I don't like that side of me. I don't like that.
I don't. One of my vows, when I became an interfaith minister, I think it was a Wednesday night, we had to write our vows, right? And one of my vows was that I would not use my mouth to harm people, because I can easily, and it's delicious. It's like a dive. It's delicious just reading you for points. It's just lovely. But the reading from the 80s is designed to make you go home and really, really hate yourself and harm. I don't want to be that way.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's so. Me. Oh my God, we are out of time. Damn, I know Kwame. Valerie, tell the people where they can find you. What we're gonna do is, I want to give it Valerie, but my show next week's show is the season finale. So, but when I come back in September, I think I want to have Valerie on for the season premiere. So, Valerie, where can the people find you?
Well, guess what? You may be coming on my show. You may be.
I'm sorry, everybody. Whoo! That. Now, I just want to say this, Kwame, I did what you told me to do. I'm sorry, everybody. Look here. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for rocking with me. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to Pyro Media. Subscribe to Kandid Konversations with Kire. I love y'all so much. Next week's show to end the season finale will be, my guest will be Vice. He's a rapper out of Chicago, one of my adopted little brothers. He will be here to celebrate 50 years of hip hop. And we're going to have a conversation about him, his career. He's also a ghostwriter of some of your favorite tracks by artists. And he will be here, and we're going to celebrate hip hop, and that'll be the season finale. I will have Valerie back on in September. Thank you all again. Subscribe. You all can catch Valerie. Her name is Valerie Spencer on Facebook. And that's the only place I know to catch Valerie at. It's Facebook. Anyway, love you all. Thank you. Have a good night. Enjoy the weekend. And don't forget, come back here in the morning for Pyro Power Hour with me and my brother Kwame. 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Pacific Standard Time. 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. I love y'all for real. See you all.
If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Pyro Media Network's YouTube channel for more awesome content. Plus, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go live or upload new videos. Visit pyromedianetwork.com today, not just to check out our incredible roster of talented creatives, but also to gain access to exclusive bonus material available only to our Pyro fam. Show your support for this Black-owned indie network by donating today. Help us keep igniting brands everywhere.